Okay, should we start now? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Now, I already started this general principles of environmental audit. Okay. So reliability and risk should be lesser and reliability should be, once the risk is lesser, the reliability of the audit will be more. That's why the data sample which you are undertaking now, that should be uh, in such a way that the sampling number should be such a way that the result you are has a list of the risk. Okay, so that is one of the big thing of this audit. Okay, okay. Now, different types of audits examine different issues, but all environmental audits should have four basic stages of activities. One is pre-audit, second is on-site audit, and the post-audit and the follow-up of the review activities. Okay, so we'll go first the pre-audit. Okay, I have given you just the points. Okay, I will just tell you how those things are. I cannot give them details of everything, so you need to yourself do some study also. Okay, so pre-audit is define the objectives. What are the objectives of my environmental study? What are the parameters I'm going to study? Okay, that particular. Okay, so that particular parameter has to be kept in mind. Maybe it is more than one parameters, that also you have to keep in mind. Now define the scope. That scope means basically range in which you are going to see. Okay, select the audit criteria. What are the different criteria for the audit? So what should be the range? What are the conditioning? What should be the all these things? So for a given situation, what are the criteria? I will give you, this is a very general thing, but I will give you small lab examples. So if you're conducting some experiment, what are the things? What are the pre-requirements should be there. So like when I am saying that I'm using a saturated soil to do the test, the first criteria would be what? You have to make sure that the soil is saturated. And how to make sure that the soil is saturated? So like that, you have to make you have to select the audit criteria and you have to make sure that it is followed. Select the audit teams and the members. As I told you, audit teams and members, that who will be the audit members. I mean, if the auditing has to be done someone, then one outside person should be there. That person, auditor should be a capable guy. All these things. Okay. Develop an audit plan or use the protocol. Whatever has been given by the company. Actually, this is audit plan and the protocol has been decided by the company who has ordered this audit and the auditor. They sit together and decide this. Then they generally after that they inform the others people. Okay. Inform the facility. Okay. After that they inform the people on whom the auditing will be done and review the background information. Okay, what are the information has been given to them by this auditee? They review it, check it whether this information given is right or wrong. They cannot just but blindly take it. Okay, they will check it whether it is the information given to me them is right or wrong. At the same time, they should be very strict about it, because if somebody is giving wrong information without having it, then he should be severely punished. Okay, then only they will be not do such a mistake again. Okay. Next is, and these are the things which is done before the actual audit is started. Okay, because whenever any audit starts, some of the information are already sent by the auditee to these people. So on the basis, from before doing the audit, they just started. And another thing I will tell you, because I have taken this course, they make sure that, because audit is a very long process. Okay, so if the audit team is going, they should do it in a very successful manner. Look, the job of the audit team is not to find faults in people. Okay, their job is to, in a positive manner, their job is to help the auditee, the company whom they are doing the auditing, should achieve a standard. Okay, that clarity should be there. That means your mind should be positive. Then only it will be happening. Okay, so in that way, say these are the things pre-audit. The auditor is done. These are the preparations done by the auditors and the company who is ordering the audit. Okay. Then the actual audit will be started on the site, opening the conference. So if they go, they will meet the person there again, then start it. identify the area of concern. So before going, they already check out these are the places where need to focus. Okay, they will go to the facility and inspect those things, whether it has been done or not, whether the standard has been achieved or not. Okay, in any construction is happening, what are the level of construction? If any lab test is done, what are, if you suppose I'm giving an example of it, giving a standardization of a lab. So whenever any test is done for any, suppose I want to find the liquid limit of a clay. So that clay sample which I will bring, I will know the liquid limit of that clay, and I will give that clay to those people to test it, and they should be give me the result which is within my range. Okay, it can be exit value, but it is within the range. Okay, so that should be done. The records and documents, what are the tests till now done, whether they have done, what are the, it is, I'm talking from engineering point of view, but other things also, what are the records, what are the projects they have undertaken, whether it is properly documented or not, all these things. Staff interview. Okay, this is also very important. You have to make sure that the person who has been entitled any job, they are good enough to do that job or not. That also they check. Okay. Then after that, there is initial review of the material findings, whatever that they do at the spot itself, they do the finding. Okay. Then that will be closed or exit. The on-site thing will be done immediately. After that, this team will come back. Okay. After that, on the basis of whatever the information they have collected, they will do the post audit. Okay. So in this, there will be a final evaluation of the findings. Okay. And they will submit a preliminary report. That preliminary report means initially it is not the final report. This preliminary report they will submit, and that will be again shared with the auditee, of whom we are doing the auditing, we share with them. Now, whatever the observations we have done, maybe they have some other way to look about it, or maybe they can say that, yeah, we can improve on this or that immediately, something like that. So if they are able to do that, then that will be, those things will be deleted from this preliminary report, and whatever the thing assured will be taken care of. Okay. Get the approval of the management. So once this has been done, approval of the management, actually the approval of management will be done after this meeting with the auditor. Okay. Then the whole exit mission, after that, post strategy has been done. Okay. And submit the final report. Okay. So about this. And after that, there is one thing, a follow-up or review. But this is do not come under actually the audit, but they sometimes make it after the audit. But this is a voluntary thing. Okay, this is done by the company who wants to verify the actions taken on the audit findings or recommendations. So this is basically what is see. Whenever you do some company, at that time they say that no, sir, we have not done this. We will assure that within 2 months we do that, this, all these things. Okay. So on that assurance basis, you have given this audit report to them. But once but your job is to make sure that whether they are following those assurance or not. Okay, for that purpose they do the review, but this is not done by the main review team which has done earlier. Okay, it need not necessarily be done by those teams. Okay, so if you see this pre-audit, on-site audit, post-audit, and the final report submit, this is actually the environmental audit process. This is the additional one. Okay, now we'll go to small details. Already I told you many of these things, but I will just show you the things. Okay. So audit planning is better the success of it is internal editor spends adequate time planning, and this will result in the better identifies the important areas, potential problems, and proper assignment. Look, this you can study. Okay, I have written it for you people only. Okay, whatever I just told you, I have written it these things only. So basically, correct background information of the entity. So whatever the environmental policy goals of the organization, relevant environmental laws, regulations, standard governing entities, persons are responsible for carrying out the environmental duties, environmental budget, significant environmental like material cost, risks area, all these things have to be checked. This because this data will be there. Okay. Define the objective of the audit, which I told you, what are the goals of the environmental audit team. Define the what parts of the facility will be audited. That means, look, whenever you are going to do the auditing of something, we are not going to do the auditing of the whole thing or whole system. Generally, we do some one lab out of it is there is a combined facility that in that one particular lab we are going to do, or one particular part we will do, or one particular activity also you will do. It is not which that activity may be performed on the lab. So you are going to check the activity of that particular, maybe what is the carbon dioxide produced in all these stages. Okay, in an environmental system or in a factory or something like that. In whatever the different stages, what is the carbon dioxide production or what? It can be anything. Okay, so that also can be one thing. So that scope that has to very clearly defined. So what programs will be audited, how far back will be the audit exam, means which we are going to do the auditing, whether we are going to do the auditing for the last 1 year, 2 year, 4 year, 5 year, 10 year, 20 years, it's up to you. Okay, it will go up to 10 years also. Then the choose the audit criteria against what will the facility will be audited. So this has been the regulatory compliance. So this, in this has been decided by the ISO 14011. So for that particular parameter, whatever, actually I'm going to give you one case study in that you'll see what are the parameters they choose and what are the range for that. That will be given there. Okay, so according to that, whether it is satisfying or not, that you can see. Select the audit teams. So based on our knowledge, experience, okay, external, internal staff, combination of both. If the internals are going to, they should be choosing proper resource to avoid a conflict of interest. That is conflict of interest. That means if that some company from some people from some company is coming, they are involved, then they can also the conflict of interest can come. Okay, so you have to make sure that this guy is neutral. Okay, then the develop audit plan. Okay, well, as I told you. According to your objective, the plan will be there. Okay, so protocol written for the auditor outlining the activities to be undertaken in conducting review of a given topic during the environmental audit. They often contain detailed information of the audit criteria such as applicable regulations. Okay, so computers can be used in creating audit protocols and in locating sharing information between the team members during the audit. So they can share from two teams, three teams are working. Also, they can share upon themselves. Okay. On-site facility arrangements for the on-site facility needs to be met. Okay. So before this team reach there, whether at the site their necessary arrangements has been done for them or not, that is also made sure. Next is opening the following steps are involved in the on-site audit. Opening conference, communicated the objective method of the audit of the key facilities and personnel and schedule necessary meeting and interview. So once you reach there, you inform whatever your plan or everything to the auditee. Okay. This is generally done at the stop or at the step or for 1 year, 1 hour before that, because the basic purpose is that if they know that this is what they are going to do for a very long period of time, they will adjust themselves. Okay, they can fetch results. Okay, play with the data also. So they generally the objective and method of audit are informed just before the starting of this audit. So the client, the auditee will not have much time to play around with the data. Okay, the facility of to identify area of concern for more detailed inspection, get feel for the site and modify the audit schedule accordingly. Okay, it is you cannot just sit here and decide what will be the audit there. Maybe depending on the situations. Maybe depending on the environment, depending upon the type of machine you are dealing with, depending on the type of system you are dealing with. Maybe you have to make small changes to your tour timing. Okay, that you should do. You must do. Okay. Next is site and facility inspection. So established protocols should be guide the inspection. The team may also wish to inspect the areas of concern of interest that they have been identified in the facility tour. It may not be possible to inspect the entire facility. Therefore, the sampling technique may be important part of the determining the part of the site to be inspected. Okay, that is also decided by this team, which is the, because if you ask the client, they will just show you the best part. Okay, so it is always good that you should see all the part. You should the best, you should the worst, you should see the medium part also. Okay, to get a better idea of the whole company operations. Evidence. Okay, collect sufficient, appropriate, reliable audit evidence to check the activities and performance impacts in the reports. And these evidence actually it is not done from the whatever the data given by the company. It is from the other sources like the people who are dealing with that company, other company who are dealing with the company, or the client of those particular auditing company. What is their feedback also they check. Okay, on that basis, whatever the evidence, what are the data given by these people are checked whether they are right or wrong. Okay. So those things also mentioned in the reports. Then records and document review. Audit protocols should give instructions to as to those types of records and to request as well as what to look for when examining the document. Okay. Uh, uh, so that also what are the things to look for? The audit protocols should give instruction as to the type of records to request as well as to look for when examining the documents. So those things should be audit teams should decide, editors should decide that what are the documents they would like to see, and that must be provided. Staff interview. Interview with staff information will yield the least reliable information due to the facile fallibility of human memory, but important in the identification and potential problems and in collecting information about the facility operations. So we generally do the staff interview, but we just on the basis of that staff view, we cannot decide it. Okay, so whatever the things he's saying on that, that should be some documented evidence that whatever he's saying is right or wrong. Okay, that should be matched. Okay, on the basis of that, only the whatever the reliability of the points should be given. Okay, next is initial reviewing the findings. Findings are the results of the evaluation of the evidence collected against the audit criteria. It is important at this stage to review where the facility does not meet the audit criteria. Okay. So as I told you, audit is very important from all other type of things. From that, there is a set criteria. Okay. So whatever the parameter, whatever evidence you have collected, whether those parameters you collected, whether they are satisfying the audit criteria or not. Okay, if they are not criteria, not finding the criteria auditing, not following the audit, then what do you have to do? All these things. It should be very clear. Okay. And the closure exit conference. This is a chance of auditee to identify the misunderstanding has to be inducted to the findings of the audit team. Now, please see that this is a very complicated thing. Just before closing the on-site audit, okay, whatever the findings they have done, they generally share with the auditee, okay, on the spot itself before leaving. So at that time, if there is some misunderstanding, because look, the auditor who is there, he is also human being. He can do some mistakes also. Maybe his view is not matching with what the view of the auditee, okay, the company of whom the auditing is done. So if there is some misunderstanding, then that can be corrected during this exit conference, okay. And at the same time, this auditor team also tell the this auditing people that this is the what the things we are finding. Okay, they have not any conclusion about it. Okay, they have not any suggestions at this point. They just telling them this is the things which point, whether it is satisfied with the criteria or what percentage it is satisfied with the criteria. That is what they just tell them. Okay, after that this is done. Okay, next is the post audit. Okay, so this is final evaluation of findings. Findings must be backed by evidence. It is important to note areas of deficiency that were present during the previous audit but are not corrected. Okay, and this is important thing because look, audit has been done every 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It is not that every time the audit is done is the first time. No, audit is a continuous process. Okay, so whenever this audit is done, they always check what is the previous audit. Okay, on the basis of that, they see whether this company has complied with the earlier audit report or not. Okay, that is also very important. Often findings are leveled as major or minor depending on the level or type of risk posed and speed with which the audit teams feel they should be addressed. Okay. Now, these findings leveled as major or minor, as I told you earlier, it depends upon the assurance of the auditee and at the same time the feeling of the auditor team. Just auditor team should also be convinced that yeah, what these people are assuring that they will fix it, they should be also be very sure that they will fix it. Okay, then only either if they are not sure that they will be able to fix it in a limited time, 2-3 months, then they will be major. Otherwise, if it can be fixed, then it will be minor. Okay, so those things will be labeled minor or major accordingly. So if something major correction is coming, then maybe the machine is not working, or maybe some findings is wrong, then they have to redo everything. Okay, so accordingly that have to be done. Then the draft of the preliminary audit report. So as I told you, in this everything has been considered. Okay, before sitting together with the manager. This is done. Look, this preliminary audit report is created by the auditor team. Okay. After that, they will go and sit with the management, the company or the authority who has ordered this auditing. They will sit together with the thing and they will decide what are the things to be there, what are the things not to be there, what are the things to be added. Okay. Once that is done, they will hold the exit conference. That means like they have hold the exit conference with the audit team, now they will hold a exit conference with the this team. Okay. In that discussion or recommendation, if any, which generally auditing is some cases, it is not done always, but some cases if some error has been done or something like has been done, if some company is working, it is a continuous process, right? So due to some lack of thing has lack of production has done, something has happened. So if this new audit report has been done, that will clearly tell you what are the shortcomings, because of that this thing has been done. So in this final report, okay, final report, the auditor team sitting together in approval with the management, they will give some suggestions. They can recommend some suggestions. Okay, so those suggestions will be there in the final report. Okay, in the preliminary report, the suggestions will be there, not there, but in the final report, the final report, the suggestions will be there. Okay, and all these things, how to do this, I have already given. I am given in the environmental audit report. Okay, that we see now. Okay, next. Okay, the last in the process, as I told you, this is the review stage. So this is called the corrective action follow-up phase. Okay, this may not be technically part of the audit, but the audit manager or team leader may be involved in the developing a corrective action plan for the addressing audit findings with the facility and reporting in senior management about the progress of this plan. So it is written, this part of the audit team may be, may not be. Okay, he can be a part of a team which will be doing the corrective actions. Okay, so and he will give the timing on what time this corrective action will be done, and this report to be how much correction has been achieved, and it will be report to the senior management about the progress in this plan. Okay, so this is actually a follow up of the environmental audit report. Okay, the basic purpose of doing any audit is to make sure the system become more better, much robust. Okay, now as I told you, audit report. So what is environmental audit report? What are the things should be there in the environmental audit report? Okay, so the end product of environmental report is that contains findings or results of the environmental report and recommendations for any, if any, mainly if any required in the environmental performance audit, where the objective is to improve the performance of the organization. When in some cases, when the purpose object to improve the performance of the organization, at that time this recommendation will be there. Otherwise, they don't give such a recommendation. They just tell what is there. Okay. Audit report should complete, precise, accurate, and balanced. At the same time, it should be concise and informative, with information displayed in a format that is easy to interpret and understand. It should be understood by common people also. Okay, it should not be very high quality in English, which may not be understood by many people. Okay, it should be in a very layman way. It should be written as much possible. Okay. It should contain constructive passage recommendation. It must be persuasive and instrumental in inspiring the management and entities to take corrective actions. Look, when this type of suggestions or recommendation there, it is most time it happens that the auditee may not be ready to do that. Okay. It is his calling. Okay. So at that time, because our basic purpose is to make sure that the whole system will improve, it should be written in a very persuasive manner. Okay, that if you do this, this will be the advantage of this, like this. Okay, it should not be dictated like a boss, and it is very important. Okay, the violations or omissions should be effectively mentioned in the report. Okay, at the same time, whatever the violations and omissions which has been done while doing this on-site visit should be very effectively mentioned in the report. Okay, you should not miss on that. The content of it should be easy to understand, free from vagueness, ambiguity. It is very clear. Okay, that should be nothing like between the lines. Okay, it should be very clearly written. Yes or no, something like that. Okay, there should not be on between. Include information which is supported by complete and relevant audit evidence, and be independent, objective, fair, and constructive. Okay, So information should be there, which has been properly checked. Okay, you cannot just assume, because somebody, if you want somebody check your audit report, the information should be there in the company that this has been shown to him and it is there. Okay, because if it is not, then the audit report vagueness will come into it. Uh, the uh, the quality of the auditor will come into picture, auditing team come into picture. Okay, so those things should not be happening. Environmental auditor must ensure that environmental assessment and audit reports should be provide accurate record of soundly based evaluation and logic and data steps. Okay, if at all you are writing some the recommendation on it, logical thing, it should be very logical. Okay, there should be some basis for whatever the recommendation you give. Then means whenever you are giving some recommendation, there should be some logic for that. You must write the logic also. Why you are recommending like that? Okay, the report must be signed by environmental auditor. Okay, so once this is done, the team leader, everybody should sign, because these are those, because that thing will be go for a, once it is go to hard copy and sign, it is there forever. Okay, but if something found negative in that, anything false in that, these people will be responsible. And it can be for hundreds of years also. Okay. Okay, next is content of the environment report. Executive summary, whatever the actually in this, whatever the whole thing, summary means everything, starting from what is the objective, what is the thing, what is the how much you, it is kind of abstract only. Okay, you, I hope you understand what is abstract of writing a paper. So it will be giving a summarization of the whole report. Okay. Then introduction and background audit includes specification, entity, process, or activity, system, site inspection, site in respect of which the environmental report was conducted in audit period. Okay. All these things should be, this problem, everything background should be there. Please just remember, if you have written a paper, it will be something like that also. So give background is what are the process you are going to do, the study, everything. Okay, on that is done, then object of the environmental audit will be done. Scope of the environmental, what is the specific area we are going to consider, that also will be there. Audit criteria, what are the things, criteria already up to ISO 14011, what are the things that you have to see. Description of audio approach and methodology used. Okay, audit approach and what are the methodology you are using, what are the evidence you have used. Okay. Okay. Then what are the findings? Okay, depending on the type of audit, finding may be set as a compliance with the environmental legislative standard requirements, status of conformity with the internal environmental policies. Okay. So status of good environmental practice implementation, measurement and recognition of all significant environmental costs, benefit, asset, liabilities, and identification of significant environmental risks and contingency. And now last 10 minutes is there. So these are the things I have already given to you. You can very self understand, because what are the main thing I already told you. Okay. So after that conclusion, what are the recommendation has been there, how it should be followed, and the signature of the auditor with the dates should be there. Okay. Now these are the things I will not go with you, because I written in very great detail, so I will not go into it. But these are the instrument or tools through which you do the environmental audit. So checklist, you prepare a checklist. These are the things I need to check. Okay. Questionnaires, you prepare a set of questionnaires. In that you ask the people, these are the questions depending upon the questionnaires, as you know, sometimes severity, high, low, medium, something like that. So accordingly you prepare a question. From that you can get the general feel of the whole thing. And questioning, questioning is one of the most crucial aspects of auditing, yet from the training awareness point of view, it is often given listening. The purpose is information gathering in nature and not an interrogation. So this is done to the auditing, when this audit team and this auditor team sit together. At that time, whatever the question asked by the auditor team has to be done like that also. This questionnaire, there is a difference, the questionnaire and questioning. In the questionnaire, there is set of questions, we just give it to them, they just write it and give it to you. But questioning means these are the particular sensitive question, what are the in perspective that thing that you ask them. Then observations, whatever the physical observation, whatever you see, it is done by the auditors. Then photographs, also this is very important, what are the photographs they take, and there is some legal issue in that also, that should be taken care of. Research, okay, it is useful to try and understand some background research into the site and the company to be edited. So this has to be also done by the auditor team. before going. As I told you, in the pre-audit, these are the things they do. This research they do in the pre-audit system. Okay. So these are the tools using which the environmental audits is become much relevant. Okay. So then environmental auditing can be classified in three parts. One is environmental compliance audit, environmental performance audit, and environmental financial audits. Okay. So we are not going into environmental performance audit and environmental financial audit. We'll just focus on environmental compliance audit because this is more technical and more engineering kind of thing. Okay, that which we are going to focus on. Okay, so compliance is whatever the standard has been set. Is most comfortable. It is considered verification and environmental activities to check compliance with environmental legislation, standards, industry guidelines, and company policy. Okay, as I told you, one thing is the what are the standards set by the guidelines set by the company. One is the whatever the legislation, whatever the government is decided, whether both of them are matching or not. Okay, that and whether it is followed or not, that you must check. So after the specific requirement edits, okay, this you can go through. It's not so tough. Okay, and objective, focus, audit criteria, main benefits. Okay, so in this case, I have given an example of a. The benefits of this audit compliance is that help in ensuring compliance with environmental laws, identifies liabilities and risks. It will tell you because from this we'll get has in knowing the gap between promises and results achieved by the policies, save caused by minimizing waste and conserving the sources and preventing the pollutions. Okay. So here I have given the example of energy audit. It's basically energy audit means basic data, overall consumption, share of various forms of energy in the total energy consumption. Okay, cost of various form of energy steps. So this is the energy audit done. So on these parameters, this audit is done. Okay, compliance has been done or not. So that you can see I've already written. Okay, certification of the audit. This is done by because we are only following ISO 14000, but other certification like British standard of BS 7750 is there. European standard is EMS, but now it is also considering from now British standard is in favor of this ISO 14001, so it is no more. It is also following ISO 14000, but European still it is they are continuing in their cases. Okay, so they give the certification. Then ISO 14000s. Okay, these you go through because must complete. These are the things: environment policy, assessment, respect, management systems, a series of periodical internal audits and reports on town management, public declaration of whatever ISO 14001 is being implemented or not. An environmental audit is required for 2010 is required to establish that ISO 14001 is being complied. Okay. So these are the main measurement calibration requirement of the ISO 14001 given. So you just go through it. Measurement process must be adequate. The register of use of relevant to EMS must be documented. Everything, every point should be done in each given year. Okay. So please go through it because I have in a very logical way I have written it. Okay. So I have taken from the data, but I have made sure that it is very well understood to you people. Okay. So these are the things you should keep in mind. What is the area in which they can also are. So this I have written. It will come in. Don't get confused by this one. This is basically the area of different type of problems which can apply in which this ISO 14000 can be applied. I have written quantification effect of this pollution, quantification effect of water pollution, control of air and water pollutions, noise, vibrations, shock pollutions, waste management, everywhere it can be applied. Okay. So this is what I have already written here. Impact assessment is, as I told you, it is before the actual work that is done. I think people already know about impact assessment. Okay, so this is what impact assessment is. And this is the different type of information to be analyzed in case of impact assessment. These are the basic guidelines of impact assessment. Okay. It can be applied in any processes. Okay. Then these are the things, some of the points related to the notes I've written. So legal requirements. Compared to that, environment audit may not be a legal requirement always, but assessment is always requirement. But it is not legally applicable, go for it and avoid any legal assess in the future. Okay. So another one definition is the EI is clearly an area in which the experience, technical, legal, scientific knowledge are required. any organism with a well-developed environmental response and fully functioning EMS process. The EMS means environmental management system will integrate EIA process with other elements of the environmental audit to avoid duplication, to provide independent source of data, and to develop a overall organization strategy with respect to environmental sensitivity. Okay, last 2 minutes is there. Okay, so what I will do, are you able to listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, whenever, whatever, only 2-3 minutes is there, so let's listen to me. What I will do now, this third chapter is also over, third unit is also over. Okay, what are the other documents I will give you is that I will give you a case study of this environmental impact assessment for the infrastructure projects. Okay, one paper is that I will give you. In that, we just focus on the initial part. What are the parameters they are considering? You need not go to the how they have, because in the paper they first they decide the parameters. Then in actual cases, they will see what are the area they are able to achieve. What are the value they are able to achieve. You just focus on the parameters only. You need not go for the values of those parameters. Okay, because we cannot write such a big line, so big thing in the paper itself. Okay. Next is regarding the last one, the last chapter. Okay. In the last unit, that is the solid waste management, right? If I let me share with you. Solid waste management. In the, can you see it? Hello? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In this,
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this, solid waste management is there. Okay. So what I will give you, I will give you one document, one paper is there in which solid waste management as a system engineering, how it is like a system. I already made you understand what is system. Okay. In that I will give you, and in that I will give you 2 case studies. One case is in Puducherry, in India, how they are applied this solid waste management. Another case, general case for the China. Okay, so that will take care of the case studies, and this system. So there will be 2 case studies and one this paper as a system. Okay, and in this case, this will be one case study for this environmental impact assessment. Okay, hello. So that is done. Okay. So if anything happens, then we'll you please write a mail. Then further data I will send. Okay. So officially, what are the classes I could take? I have taken now. Okay. So if you need anything more from this, and already still time is there. Up to 30, we can discuss whatever we want to discuss. We can discuss. Okay. So up to that, whatever.